How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? I am your girl, Talisa Rae, and we are reviewing Chad Loves Michelle, episodes 2, 3, and 4. Listen, I've been lazy and have not been watching a lot of TV. Tried it to my head and not my heart, but here we are. If it's your first time visiting my channel, what up though? Go ahead, click the red subscribe button to become a Ray of Sunshine. And the notification bell, because why? Like peanut butter and jelly, they go together. And you don't want to miss another video I upload. Okay, so really quick, sort of kind of, won't take a whole lot. This is more just a review than a recap. Episode 2 was Fish Out of Water. Listen, so yeah, Chad is white, not like his mama Mexican, and then Chad is white. He from a small town in Dolores, Colorado, honey, and he was taking Michelle back to meet his grandpa John, grandpa Joe, grandpa somebody with a J. But before we even get to Colorado, the first thing they start talking about is their interracial relational issues. One of which is the whole black and white thing, and it came up with Michelle saying, you aren't black, so you can't relate. I want you to stop right there. Because the fact of the matter is, that is one of the biggest things that you have to consider when you're in an interracial relationship. Is this person going to be able to relate to me and my hardships, especially being a black woman? Am I going to be able to communicate my feelings and thoughts and ideas to this person without making them feel funny, without being judgmental, without playing the victim? These are issues that they really have, and being a white man raised in a predominantly white town, pretty much all white town except for the Native Americans, something to consider. He has not experienced the things that the black community has, that a black man would, that a black woman would have to go through. Now that if you have a child together, that your black child would have to deal with. So those are things that you have to consider. And I was like, well, tell the truth, shame the devil. And when he said, I like that they talked about, Michelle talked about, it's just like in business. Anytime we raise our voice, whether it be for excitement, whether it be for sadness, whatever it is, it's automatically assumed aggressive. When sometimes that's not even the case. It's just us sharing pure joy. I was like, if they don't talk about real issues, because as a black woman, we are always pegged as being aggressive. Hello, somebody. That is not what we are. We're excited, we're passionate, but aggressive sometimes. What I did like about this episode was, as usual, Chad shows that he wants Michelle to feel loved and to feel respected. And to me, that is so important. Two very important things in a relationship: to feel loved, to feel respected, to feel honored. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff that I feel like should be occurring in a relationship, but I give kudos to Chad for trying to make sure that Michelle hears him and understands him, and that he does the same for her. And partly because he takes her to Dolores, Colorado to meet his grandfather and his close friends and his brother Brandon, in hopes that they like her, in hopes that they give the buy-off on him getting married to her. Now here's the thing. I don't know how many of y'all did not meet your spouse's family before y'all decided to get married. I mean, even I, in my short-lived engagement, I had already met his family. I think I met his family way before, or when he had first moved in. Like, so I was introduced to everybody at the same time at like a family function. Hello, somebody. I don't think there's many people that will say I married him and didn't meet the family. And no, we're not marrying his family, but it's good to know what you're getting into, because your upbringing says a lot about you. How you were raised, the relationship you have with your family says a lot about you and how you're going to treat me in our relationship. I'm just saying, hello, somebody. You agree with me or not? Let me know down below in the comments. So pretty much the whole episode was about meeting his family in Colorado. They went, you know, to equine therapy, where you're with the horse, and the horse kind of feed off the horse and the horse feeds off you or something, and it really is just for you to look at who you are and how you relate and what's wrong with you. They went horseback riding, but overall, Grandpa John liked her. The family liked her and welcomed her. But really, your family is going to welcome who you love because they love you. They're going to want the best for you, even if they don't agree with it. Papa is 86 years old. It seemed like he cared. I was very touched when Papa actually cried when thinking about his wife that had passed away, you know, the year before. So I was moved by that. Then later on, when they get back to California, they meet with another interracial couple that Dr. Tama had set up for them to meet so that they could see how their lives were. The husband was white and the wife was Creole, which is black and French, and Puerto Rican. And as Yasmin was talking, I thought to myself, she hit the nail on the hammer with everything she talked about. From the white kids running around in the store and how that is not acceptable for a black child, how our black children need to hold themselves together, you know, dress right, smell right, look right, be well groomed, know how to speak to people, hold yourself and act accordingly because we're viewed differently. And even though her children are biracial, it means nothing because they still are black children. Hello, somebody. Like, I was like here for that whole segment. I was glad that he got to see it and that it became reality for him. Because for some reason, that old crazy Michelle cannot articulate herself well enough, at least from what we can see. I'm just saying, somebody, y'all can be mad at me. I still think she's a little weird. I kind of don't even know if she really loved him. When he said that whole dessert kiss thing, I was like, what was that, kid? You should be... Child, I understand that y'all being celibate, but is it because you're afraid that, you know, his little pink penis? I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think it is, but I think she's a little off. So, episode 3, Family Matters. I was looking at Michelle going, she is so skinny. And later on for her to talk about the 8 pounds that she had lost when she, you know, was in the hospital for her depression. I was like, girl, you can't afford to lose no weight, and you know you can't afford to lose no weight. Having a baby would be good for you, so you can gain that 25 pounds and see what it looks like to carry weight, but it might be too heavy for her structure. I like the conversation that she had with her best friend, George. He didn't even know that, you know, she wasn't having suicidal thoughts, but she was having thoughts of, should I be here? What is my purpose? I'm in the way. Like those kind of thoughts. Like, that is one step below, I want to kill myself. So she knew what her triggers were, and I really commend her for that. Okay, so I didn't know that Michelle was her middle name and her first name is Tanitra. Come on, ghetto girl name. Come on, Tanitra. I'm in love with that. The entire episode was about Chad's sister Lindsay coming to visit. What we find out is Lindsay really has some type of separation anxiety. She feels like her brother's relationship with Michelle has now caused strain to their relationship, that he won't be there for her. She feels like all she's ever had was her brother. He was who she could depend on, and he won't be there anymore because now he has his own life with his own wife and family to think of. Listen, I understand it, but that's kind of selfish. You got 3 babies. Okay, the first one came when you was in high school, you got pregnant. But the other 2, they didn't give us no background. The baby, you are 38 years old. So, and I'm guessing 37, 38 years old based on her saying she was 2 years younger than Michelle. I'm just saying, like, you need your own man to provide that kind of support. And yes, your brother is always a permanent fixture. I can always call and count on my brother right now if I needed to, but you have to allow them to live their lives. And yes, it may feel like they're separate, but he knows that he's all you have. So I'm sure that he's still going to be in your nephew's life, you and your nephew's life. I love, though, that Chad, when the fathers weren't around, that he stepped up, knowing that they needed a real male role model in their life. I loved hearing that. The only thing else was the therapy session, that whole submission conversation. It wasn't even a submission conversation. He had the submission conversation with Michelle in the car on the way to therapy. Wives, submit to your husbands. And he said, you know, submit to one another. She kept saying to one another. Now, I'm going to just say this. Submitting does not mean subservient. Submitting to me means taking a step back and allowing him to lead. Allowing him to be in the forefront and gingerly correcting him when he's wrong. Submitting to me does not mean I'm following you blindly. It does not mean that I'm just letting you do whatever and drive us straight to hell in a handbasket. No ma'am, no sir, no thank you. Submitting means I trust you enough to make decisions for our family because you follow God. Okay? But in that same breath, if you look like you're going to turn left and we should really be going right, it is my responsibility to reel you in. It is my responsibility to actually always be providing suggestions to you and helping you to be the best leader you can. So I'm constantly giving you small reminders, pieces of things to say, hey, this is what's going on. Hey, you know, putting it in your ear, making it like it's your suggestion. But to me, submission does not mean subservient. And I ain't following no fools. So she's been dating for a while. And I also get that you being single for a long time and being independent for a long time, it takes some time for you to make an adjustment to even include someone else in your life because things change. It's no longer just you you're considering, but you're considering you and them. And then she's not a mom either. See, as a mother, I'm a single mom. And as a mother, I'm considering my children in the decisions I make. So it's still an adjustment considering another adult and their thought and process and what they think is best, but it's a little easier because I have to consider other people, but really I'm making all the decision for the children. Yeah, all right. But it looks like Lindsay and Michelle are on the men's because her and Chad, Lindsay and Chad had a conversation, and Chad just wanted to know, hey, so what, do you want me to leave them for you? Leave Michelle and just forget about my happiness? And so after the conversation between the two of them, I think her eyes were open and she felt a lot more comfortable with calling Michelle sister at the end. Okay, episode 4. Career opportunity. So I like the conversations around the first ladies. I like that they had Maisha and Nicole, First Lady Maisha and First Lady Nicole on the show. I like the fact that Maisha said you have a blank slate and you get to write what it is you want as a first lady. Because it's something to consider. You're dating a pastor, and though he does not have a flock to lead yet, it is something that he wants based on the conversations that you guys had. So I'm glad to see she's trying to get her fillers out and see what's expected. But I'm all for, you know, you have an unconventional pastor. Number one, he's white. Number two, he's kind of a lot of urban, because when we saw him doing that crip walking, I was like, hello, somebody. Like, that's why we think you're black. That beard is making us think you black. Your build is giving us the black vibes with the bald head. So that's like how we feel like you might have some color in you, but you white, okay? And so I just feel like that was a great conversation. It also made me think about how we put people in boxes. You know, my husband wanted to be a pastor, and had I been a first lady, I definitely would have been unconventional. I would have been the one, you know, with the red lipstick on, skirts above her knees. Like, I would not have fit the norm. And I don't think that Michelle will fit the norm, considering she was a member of Destiny's Child. But just because I love hip-hop and R&B does not mean I don't love the Lord, or I love the Lord any less. And what was her name? First Lady Nicole, when she said, no, I don't go to no R&B concerts. And no, we don't do it to no kind of music. Okay, but listen. Don't be so spiritual that you do no earthly good, that people can't relate to you. So you telling me, don't you remember you told me you love me, baby? That don't move you? You told me you coming back again. Okay, that's not again, babe. That's not right. Baby, baby, baby. Ooh, okay, that ain't right either. But if the song was on, I could sing it. You know what I'm saying? You telling me that that's a chair is still a chair. That kind of shit don't move you? Caught up in the rapture of love. I mean, they talking about love. They ain't talking about what we talking about now when they singing music, you know, fucking and popping mollies. No, they was talking about real love. So you telling me, I like the way you comb your hair and I like those stylish clothes you wear is not something you would want to hear? I don't think that it's you're married. You're married, so it has a different connotation. She threw that scripture out there, and I can't remember right off top, but y'all could go back and rewind and watch it. That doesn't affect you when you marry, unless you as we lay, unless you listen, we forgot about tomorrow as we lay. If you're talking about infidelity and you listening to that, then that's something entirely different. But I think that listening to love music, child, that's a whole nother tangent I'm about to go on. Let me pull up. We find out that Chad is a planner. He likes to schedule things down to the last drop, where Michelle is spontaneous and on the fly, which kind of is the MO for most women. Like most women, okay? Most. I can't say all because I know a lot of planner babes. And when I say they plan to a T. I ain't all the way there yet, but you understand what I'm saying. I liked that I saw actually too Pastor Wayne Chaney, when Chad went to visit, I was really shocked that he offered. Why would I be shocked? He seems to be a prolific pastor that can reach urban youth. He actually offered him a position on staff to be head pastor at a church that was being formed in downtown LA. Now, I'm not sure if he took it or not. I should really Google and try and find out, but I was really just trying to get this up, so I didn't. You can let me know down below in the comments if you know indeed, number one, what the name of the church is. Number two, if Chad is the head pastor. We also see Michelle get back in the swing of things as it related to modeling or photographing or photography or whatever it was for Amare magazine for her clothing line, Believe. I liked those clothes that they had her in. I liked I liked the photo shoot and the photos that she took. She's still so weird looking to me and weird acting to me, so I still have not figured that out yet, but I am starting to like Michelle a little more. Sometimes it feels like she's putting on like a show for us. I need it to feel more authentic. I think that's what I want to say. Like, she seems strange because it's not authentic. The authenticity is not there anymore. Like, who are you really, Michelle? This seems fake. Only thing real about you we know is that you have a mental health disorder called depression. And we know depression is real. We know you admitted yourself into the hospital. But everything else, even the way you treat Chad and how you love him, doesn't seem real to me. I might just be tripping. Let me know down below in the comments if you think I'm tripping. We saw them find them a personal assistant. What was his name? Martwan. He won and fit in just fine. That's when we saw Chad do the crip walk. I was like, get it, Chad? I was like, yes. I find him very attractive personally. He kind of reminds me of one of my coworkers. Very attractive. But my coworker is white. Like, white. I don't even know if he's ever dated out a woman of color. Anyone outside of his ethnicity. I may have to ask him. He's a good friend of mine. I wouldn't cross that line because he's a good friend of mine. Like, I love him in real life as a friend. We also saw that Chad had his very own therapy session, and he is feeling like his life is falling apart, that he's always been the caregiver for everyone else, and now it's translating in his relationship with Michelle, and it's affecting him. And Dr. Tama asked him, do you feel like you want to call this off? You want to stop this relationship? And he said, no, I love her. which was great. And so when he goes home and Michelle tries to talk to him about what happened in therapy, number one, I think therapy is something that's personal. You don't have to share it. I wouldn't share it. It is for your healing, not for someone else's. But I get that she wanted to know because she shares what her therapy sessions are, her solo therapy sessions are about. And he brings it up that he feels like he's now, you know, a caregiver. And she tells him plain and simple, the only way you need to take care of me is to love me and respect me. I don't want you to feel like, you know, you're my nurse. I don't want our relationship to feel burdensome to you. I mean, like she said in the beginning, I don't want anyone, or was it the last episode, whichever one it was, she was like, I don't want to be with anyone that feels like I'm intentionally trying to hurt them or trying to cut them. It's not like I have the intent in my mind that I want to cut you. Just like he doesn't want to really be with anyone that he feels like he has to care for in the manner that he's caring for Michelle. Though he loves her, he wants to protect her. He's doing the things that a husband would do when they love you. I want to make sure you are well, because if you're well, I'm well. If you're not, I'm not. Like, I really felt that in my spirit. Like, he's going to make somebody a really great husband. I really hope that it is Michelle. I really hope that she really loves him and this isn't fake. You know what I'm saying? That kind of wraps up everything. He talks about, like, having compassion fatigue, which is really helping other people and being compassionate for other people. And she talks about him needing to go ahead and shepherd his own flock, and to go back and talk to Pastor Cheney about the business opportunity, or the pastorship opportunity, whatever it's called, at the church in downtown LA. Okay, so that covers 3 episodes in one. I think we did pretty good. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I am going to try to be on time next week for episode 5. Try and have it uploaded on Saturday night or Sunday morning. Don't forget, before you go, if you haven't, click the subscribe button, the notification bell, and the thumbs up, because you like me and I'll know it's real. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll see you on the next video.